Well, good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to Viewpoint for today. Today is Friday. Normally, what we would do on a Friday, especially when we don't have a guest, we do have an open forum. Not such thing today because we do have a guest today, and I'm sure that when you find out who he is, it would appease some of my listeners who've been asking, how come I don't have people like Mr. Christopher Emmanuel on this program? Well, he's here today, folks. So without any further ado, he's the former Minister of Vromi and one-time MP in the Parliament of St. Martin. And also, he is the number 2 candidate on the National Alliance slate. Good afternoon, Mr. Minister. How are you today?
Mr. Moore, good afternoon to you. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I'm good. I'm
really good. It's
Again,
election
thank
time.
you, though. Thank you for the opportunity.
No problem. Again, it's election time, and I guess a lot of people didn't bargain for this.
Right.
I know this has come up in many a discussion, but such it is. As far as that is concerned, it may be a good for St. Martin. We just have to wait and see. But after all that has happened with Irma, are you satisfied with how far we have reached today, or we could have been a lot farther?
You'll have to define the satisfaction, because in terms of people and the readiness, in terms of their security, in terms of their livelihood, in terms of their liberty, in terms of their condition, no, I'm not satisfied with that. But if you're talking about bouncing back in terms of the country retaining a semblance of how it used to be, then I'm quite satisfied with that, because I've been heavily involved in bringing back or trying our utmost to capture the glory that St. Martin once had. So I'm satisfied with it, and I honestly believe that more can and will be done.
But I was more getting after how far. I mean, it's like 5 months in, and a lot of expectation was on a promised 550 million euro that never came. But I still think that we have done a lot on our own that seems to appear as if it was left up to us, maybe we could handle it. But we still need that money. We still need some help for the budget, to off-balance the budget, and to government continue paying what they have to pay, because a lot of businesses are closed and people are not working. So I was more thinking along the line of, could we be a lot farther in 5 months, or we have hurt ourselves with the infighting that we have as political parties?
It's a given as to what we are doing right now. It's an election season, Mr. Moore, and this is what you get. The young people would say it's what it is. And I don't know about the infighting that you're talking about, but it's opposing views, where you have different political parties and one see it this way and the other see it that way. What I was focusing on, especially right now, is the way my people are living, because they are living in a condition where things, yes, should have been better. And we haven't seen the roof repair program as yet. Nothing is being done or coming forth from government. And when I left office, it was done. It was finished. It was there. The bidding process was complete. Contractors was awarded the contract. They signed agreements. It's only now why it's not being done. And, you know, to be honest with you, yeah, I really want to be more of clearing the air, disseminating information, and letting people know the facts from what is fiction. Getting into the back and forth, or the bashing, as we would call it, I'm really not in that today at all, because it's just a matter of being distracted. I'm staying focused for what I believe is the best thing for St. Martin and how we should move forward. So if I have to interpret where we are today, I would say that yes, in terms of the country moving, we are at snail's pace, because government fell, and things that was in the pipeline, to use that word, is hold up, is stalled. We were promised aid, and we need it now, and this would be done and that would be done. And the reality is, okay, we are not there. Where is it? Where is it? So I'm saying to the people of St. Martin, listen, majority of the things, what is happening now and what is going on, I have a plan, I have a solution, and I know it can work because we were working on these sort of things. I can get into the rhetoric well now, and I can start pointing my finger and tearing down and breaking down. But at this juncture, I don't think that's what the people of St. Martin want to hear.
Okay.
And trust me, I can do it very well. But right now,
What do you mean you can do it very
no,
well?
I can do it very well because it's hard to argue with the truth, and I have the facts on my side. For example, I was speaking to someone, and again, you're bringing me there. You know, and I was looking at it, and they said, "Oh yeah, Emmanuel, you should hush your mouth because your $180,000 flagpole and people still suffering." And I told the person, I said, listen, the individual that started that vicious lie and that vicious rumor is the finance minister today, the Honorable Minister Ferrier. He's the minister today. He has all the facts. He has all the information. As finance minister, if Christopher Emmanuel spent 100,000 guilders, 200,000 guilders, 150,000, whatever was spent, the Honorable Minister has the facts today. It should be divulged or bring out to the people of St. Martin, if that is true. Because it was started from him. Yeah, and I only think it's fair now that you have the facts, now that you're in the position to really tell the people the truth, it should end with you also,
So
and you would see what it is.
You're saying that the facts related to how much money was spent for that project he has access to it.
You have all the access to it. Everything is there.
Okay.
From the cabinet, from
and
the
if you
ministry.
have done anything wrong,
yes,
it is theirs where you
yes,
can find that out.
yes.
All right. I wasn't tugging you there, but you went there voluntarily. Yeah. In any case, the landfill is considered one of your signature projects because you were the one who kept saying that you had everything down pat when it comes to addressing that issue.
Right.
But now we see all these fires and everything else, and I just need to know what is it we don't know about what you had arranged with the company to get that whole issue addressed, because it really needs to be done.
You see, I'm looking at the time because I'm familiar with how the program operates. Let me tell you the truth, Wendell. You know, and I get so emotional when this comes out because I'm saddened, and it hurts my heart really when people go take something that is good and tear it up, rip it up, and just be mean with it. Be mean with it for no reason. Christopher Emmanuel didn't reinvent the wheel. Christopher Emmanuel made a promise to the people of St. Martin that I will be your voice. In Parliament, I spoke about the landfill. I made a video about the landfill, and I told the people I can solve this problem. I can fix this problem. I know it can be done. There is nothing in it for Christopher Emmanuel. There is no payoff. There is no back pay. There's nothing. Schools are closed. Businesses are suffering. Government building is shut down. GEBE is closed. Cruise passengers have masks on their face. The whole island is on a standstill just because other individuals want to be mean and nasty with something that is good for the people of St. Martin. Now, I went as minister. 1 year I have been in office. 1 year. This is my country, Wendell. This is my country. I love. This is my own. I don't pretend to love it more than anyone else. But I work my off to fix these problems that I told the people of St. Martin I can fix it. I remember getting into office. I was invited by Toncha Boncampo because he's the head of Beherdines. He's the head of infrastructure projects. He's the head of the landfill, and that's his department. And he received these annual invitations to go to waste to energy conferences. So there was one in Louisiana, and he invited me to come to this waste to energy conference, and we went to it. And in the conference there was different rooms. So he went into one that says landfill mining, and I went into one that says recycling. Here I am as a new minister, first 3 months in office, and I'm on this trip and I'm looking at these sort of things. I find it was boring. The recycling section was boring. So I came out. When I came out, I saw Mr. Bankaba having a conversation with this gentleman. He said, Minister, let me introduce you to this gentleman. They represent EnviroGreen out of Canada that does landfill mining, remediating, and garbage resolution. I said, this is good. This is exactly what we need. I said, let me go downstairs by Starbucks, get a drink, and I'm coming back. And when I came back, we ended up in a conversation. I said, I would invite you to St. Martin to see my problem, our problem, and tell me what you think, what your company can do. That is how it all started. That's how it all started. When we came back to St. Martin, we had a proposal from Synergy on the books of government. Synergy ceased to exist. The company ceased to exist. We had to terminate the contract with Synergy to go into any agreement with any other company, which we did through Eric de Vries. Why Eric de Vries and HBN Law? They are the ones who has the technical expertise to put such document of corporate law together. The government apparatus doesn't have it. And they have been the ones who have been working on it before me with my predecessors. So I followed the same track. They didn't bring in anyone new. We created a team where we had Zelina Barry as the lawyer for the Vromi cabinet. We had Eric de Vries as the corporate lawyer to look at the intricacies of putting it together. And then we had Mr. Bonkampa and we had other individuals who was providing this information. And they worked on this information. And I keep calling him and I insisted, how far are you? Where are we going? How is it coming? And one day he called, he said, I believe we have an MOU ready for St. Martin. I went, we met by a restaurant. I looked at it, I watched it, I said, okay, I'm going to send it off to Zelina. I sent it off to Zelina. She had a few concerns. She said, Minister, if they can correct this and correct that, I advise you to sign it. It is an agreement between the Ministry of Vromi as me representing and my responsibility as minister with EnviroGreen. A memorandum of understanding that these are the things we can work on. These are the things we can do. This is what the island needs. This is what the country needs. And the MOU came about. Now, the MOU is between my person as the minister responsible for the landfill and the dump and EnviroGreen. But the power purchase agreement, because what it is, it's a 9 megawatt plant that they are going to generate electricity from the garbage and mine the hill. When I say mine and remediate, the hill is at 43 meters now, the landfill. They are going to reduce it down to 12 meters in about 15 to 17 years and generate the electricity. That agreement is between GEBE and EnviroGreen. And then came the next agreement, which is the concession agreement. What are you putting in? What are you giving out? We worked on this thing, Mr. Moore. We worked on it. We worked on it. The Council of Ministers approved the concession agreement. It's approved. It was sent off to the governor. The LB, the Landsberg to sign. The governor had some questions, and they are legitimate questions. For example, he would like to see the power purchase agreement. We put it in. He would like to know why EnviroGreen was chosen. Simply, it is the only company that is doing 100% financing for 26 cents per kilowatt hour, and the most important, mining the landfill and remediating the landfill. That was the most important. The other companies was doing half and couldn't, and 100% not really, and this, and they was not selected or picked. This is the reason why I chose Enviro Green. It was sent back off to the governor with all this information. Then I had to leave office. I was advised by the Prime Minister at the time, Mr. Rafi Bosman, not to sign it until the governor gave you the blessing and the permission to do, which I followed his advice. And there was 2 days left, and we left office. So when I say to the people of St. Martin that a solution is there, it is right there. Everyone else can say what they want and they can talk about it because they don't have a plan. Here is a plan that you, the people of St. Martin, asked me to do for you by putting me in that office. And that is what I did. And so the power purchase agreement now is at GEBE. And then you can hear all of them talking. There's one from the board talking, that one talking. The resolution to agree to the terms needs a majority of signatures from the board of GEBE, which is 4 individuals. Right now, you have 2 individuals that have signed it. Tazia Bedfoots, Benventina Richardson signed it. The question is, why are they not doing it? No, that's not the question. The question is, why is it no one is talking about GEBE? GEBE received a concession from government in 2008, 2009 by the Democratic Party to produce and sell electricity. And in that concession, GEBE is supposed to be 20% renewable energy by 2015. So in other words, right now, GEBE is in violation of their concession agreement with government. So in actuality, GEBE, you don't really need. You can say to whichever company, listen, I can give you 20% of the population or the grid to sell electricity. But you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So you ask yourself the question, why are they not doing it?
Have you been in consultation with the folks at GEBE?
I have been in consultation with the board of GEBE. I've spoken to board members of GEBE. I had meetings with members with the board of GEBE. And they were good. I'm not going to say that we had any sort of animosity. We have been antagonists. It have been stern, stiff, but we understand. They wanted more information. They wanted time. And all of that was given to GEBE.
But when we look at our problem, I think we need to redeem the time while we can because it's getting worse and worse.
Mr. Moore, I read the papers. They are going to Brussels. They're going to look for monies. This is 100% financing. Not 1 cent is coming from government. They are mentioning 70 million. Where are you getting this figure of 70 million from? It's nowhere in the MOU. It's nowhere in the concession. I hope they are not mixing up 770 million megajoules of caloric value of garbage that we have to give up. Garbage. That is what the people of St. Martin have to give up to Enviro Green. Think about it this way. Think about I having a generator that belongs to you, but you don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy diesel for it. You don't have to maintain it. All you have to do is receive the energy, pay for it, and sell it back. That's what it is. So why wouldn't you want that? We are talking about lowering GEBE bills, lowering of the fuel clause, no more power outages, no more load shedding, just for garbage.
From garbage.
From garbage. And everyone is fighting it. Everyone is eating it. And I ask myself why, but I know why.
Why?
I know why.
Why?
Because do the calculations and do the math. Okay? Everyone that has an issue with it is because they want something from it.
I see. All right. Christopher Emmanuel, number 2 candidate on the National Alliance slate. He's here with me. Before we go to the break, Christopher, wasn't it a plan to have all these zincs from the homes that were destroyed by the hurricane to be shipped out? What has become of that?
We have already shipped out a ton load of zinc.
Okay.
A ton load of zinc we have already shipped out. With
Is there more? Is there
miles,
more?
of course there is. There's a lot of it. Miles out of Curacao that have the metal yard and the dockyard, they have received a number of material and zinc. And I say this to the people of St. Martin, right? We are looking at hurricane debris, but we haven't even started to collect demolishing debris.
Okay.
So let's look at Maho. Let's look at Great Bay. Let's look at Summit.
Yeah.
Let's look at going all the way down the View Hotel, just before you reach Porto Cupacoi, that other hotel.
Oh,
okay.
Sapphire.
Sapphire. Just look at, and after Sapphire, the one that is totally damaged also. That is that. Where do you think that debris has
comes
to go?
to the landfill.
It has to go, not to the old landfill, but to the second dump site. Because as minister, I took a decision that I wasn't going to mix household garbage with debris garbage. You remember the Backer recycling, where all the cars and metals was all out in the road? We cleaned that up. We took care of that. And then we started, you remember the white material, the fridges, the stove, all those things was being dumped on the side. We cleaned that up, we packed that up. And then we started to dump the material in the back of that area. But what you have is metal canisters that have been existing from way before. I didn't create that. I didn't create that landfill. But I took a decision that we are not going to mix both. And then I asked myself and I asked people, where do you want me to put it? Where should it have gone? Because you needed access. Because the plan was, even if GEBE didn't sign the power purchase as yet, and government approved the concession and signed it off after the LB, the company is willing to make available equipment right now in the haste to bale, shred, pack, and store, because this becomes good material to generate fuel when the waste to energy is built. So all of that you see, so when they say that you put it there without a plan, no, the plan is there, and that is it, because the equipment is there to start, and that is what we were going to do. Bale all of this material, because you have a lot of rubber now, you have a lot of metal now, you have a lot of wood, and that is good material that generates heat. So we would have bale it in boxes and stack it. So when the waste to energy is built, you got enough to start to burn, and that is the plan. But everyone is crying it down. Why they are crying it down? Because I have a plan and a solution, and they don't.
All right. Let's take a break. We are talking to Christopher Emmanuel, who is the former Minister of Vromi, and of course addressing this whole issue of the dump. Of course, we would so like to get a solution to this. I think that is most important for all of us. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue with Mr. Christopher Emmanuel along with your phone calls. And welcome back to Viewpoint for today. The Honorable Christopher Emmanuel is here with me. Of course, he's the former Minister of Vromi. And of course, you can tell that he is passionate about being able to get this project off the ground for the good of St. Martin. All right, I believe there's a call, Mr. Emmanuel, so just hold for a second. Let's take a call. Good afternoon, caller. You're on. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Wendell, and good afternoon, Emmanuel, this is Ruby.
Yeah.
I like to give my name. Just a question that it just slipped in my mind. I listened to Christopher speaking on several radio programs, and one that I could remember that he said, yes, he has the plan, and, If they come and ask him, he is willing, to forward it on. But is it ego? I'm sorry to say, is it ego or is it not you want to be the bigger person and you can go to them also and say, this thing is a hazard to the entire island. Just go to them and say, okay, let's sit around the table and iron this thing out. This is a plan. This is my plan. And of course you're going to get credit for it because jump high, jump low is your plan. And then everybody sits around the table. Because you know what? I got so fed up of this bickering and who do this and who did that. Why? I'm asking myself the question, why? It's big people, and I will blame everybody. Former government, present government, government from 40 years ago, I blame everybody. You know why? It's because why can't they sit together for crying loud sake and do the honorable thing and get this thing ongoing? Is it because somebody wants to feel that, oh, it's my plan and I want to get credit for it? I'm sorry. I'm very outspoken and this economy is very good to that. It's getting annoying. This is all that I have to say. And let me close off my phone. Let me hear on the phone, listening to the radio.
All right. Thank you. You heard the caller.
Yes, and I'll tell you one thing that I know with Ruby. She would call and she will tell you as it is. And she called me and she told me that same thing. And she's correct. And I have no issue, no qualms whatsoever sitting with anyone. I posted it out on Facebook and I said, listen, put this, whatever it is, aside. The minister is a young minister. He worked in the ministry of Rumi and we had a very good relationship. I remember when I first came, he said, listen, this is your block now. So let's talk.
All right. Let's take another call for you, Mr. Emmanuel. Good afternoon, caller. You're on. Go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon. Hello?
Yes, go right ahead. You're on.
Yes, good afternoon. I want to commend Christopher Emmanuel, former Minister Christopher Emmanuel, because in all my years here, I have not seen a minister who is so proactive like him. I mean, he gets in the mud and he does the work. And I think many of us should take note of that because this man, ever since he went into office, he has been working and working for the island. And I just want to say publicly, Christopher, congratulations. You've done a great job. And I hope that the people of St. Martin re-elect you into office.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
For your call.
Thank you very much for that call.
You brought a completely different approach when it comes to being a minister. Because most people delegate rather than get their hands wet, and I think that's the point he was trying to make. You want to make a quick comment and have another call?
Then let's take the call.
All right. Let's go to telephones and say good afternoon to our next caller. You're on. Yes, caller, you're on. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wendell Moore.
Yes.
Good afternoon, my beloved brother,
Good afternoon.
MP Christopher Emmanuel. It's a pleasure hearing you on Wendell Show viewpoint today, and all I have to say, I wasn't hoping to be the opening batsman. I normally used to bat 6 and 7, but now, hear my point now. Christopher Emmanuel, I always try to keep in touch with you and talk to you, because I always congratulate you for what you've done so far while you're in government, And I take my hat off for you for what you did from the time you get in government because you really fixed the road that people were crying about and you really fixed up back street good. But I was expecting you to continue to fix up Dutch Quarter because Dutch Quarter Road really, really need to fix up because I know the EDF fund was there to do Dutch Quarter project. It was so long that was to do, but I hope that whoever gets the government, they should fix it. That's all I have to say. Keep up the good work. God bless you.
All right. Thank you for your call. All right. You want to respond? Both of them.
Again, I thank the callers for what they're saying. And when it comes to the Dutch Quarter project, we resubmitted that bidding. A company out of Statia won it. We make sure that the monies are there from the 10 EDF for the Dutch Quarter project.
So that is in the making?
Yes, it is.
All right, let's take another call for you. Good afternoon, caller. You're on.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
To one and all. I would also like to ask Mr. Christopher Emmanuel, and before I ask him, I would like to compliment him on a job well done.
Thank you.
When he was a minister. But I would like to ask a quick question. Mr. Christopher, how was it so difficult for St. Martiners, born St. Martiners, to I want to progress in life? That when they go to probably apply for government land and etc., it's always a hassle, it's always a back and forth, up and down, for them to get something, something that's beneficial to them and their family in the future, and then when these other people, these other offshore people come and, they just get by over it, they get everything, I just want to know how is that so?
All right. You understand.
And this is the reason why I have been the only minister that had open Fridays from 9 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. The doors of the ministry of Vromi was open to the general public. And we have met hundreds of people. And we have tried our utmost best to solve their issues. And we took a proactive approach. Because when I tell people, I don't react to many things. We, as the ministry, me as the minister, we have given out plots of land on the ring road to 15, I think 12 to 15 young local entrepreneurs. Young local entrepreneurs. We have given land to people who have been, sending in requests for years. That's the approach we took.
Okay. Let me take another call for you, Mr. Emmanuel. Good afternoon, caller. You're on. Go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon to you and Delmore, and good afternoon to Christopher. Christopher, what you said just a while ago concerning GEBE, right? That they are not going to take your plan because they have to make money. Who has a contract with the fuel for GEBE? That we have to look into consideration. Who makes the money off of GEBE? And the same board that you're talking about, there are members on that board who also messed up GEBE a couple of years back, if you could recall, with the water plant too. But now, there wasn't politics then, but now they are the head of the board. So there again, there is greed involved in these politicians, and they're not looking at St. Martin people. There's only rich people in St. Martin. There's rich people and poor people, and that's because of the politicians. And one more other thing, Mr. Emmanuel, I'd like to, if you could answer this question for me. Why was the reason that you stopped the badge from operating here to take out those boats out of the lagoon? And furthermore, don't forget to tell Joanne happy anniversary. Thank you, and God bless you, Christopher.
All right. Thank you for your call. Quickly, Mr.
Let me get to the point that the gentleman raised, and he's absolutely correct. There are individuals that are presently on the board of GEBE that is right now saying all sort of things. It's going to bankrupt GEBE. GEBE can't do this. They are interested in LNG. And then the question is, why are they on the board of the supervisory and interested, and they're the ones speaking, and they're not the chairman of the board? Then the question is, who was going to be the representative of LNG coming into St. Martin? These are the things that bothers me, and you have to put a stop to it.
Yeah, and you can't even touch the lagoon just yet, but you need to answer that question for him. I have a call online for you. I have to take these calls, Mr.
Then take the calls. Take the calls.
Good afternoon, caller. You're on.
Hello, good afternoon, Christopher. We, as the population, we congratulate you for the step you make to help us, the poor people of St. Martin, because when you hear you're getting a relief from GEBE with that high electricity bill, we really congratulate you, and don't give up. You have a plan. And what I congratulate you most of all, you went to our Lieutenant Governor to get advice. The others bypass him. Let the population think about that. Keep up the good works. Thumbs up, baby.
All right. Thank you for your call.
Thank you very much.
And don't forget, you still have to address the issue.
I did my research coming here.
You have another call? Can you remember what you have to say? Let's take another call. Good afternoon, caller. You're on. Go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon. I would like to congratulate Former Minister Christopher Emmanuel on a job well done, what he has done while he was in there such a short time. And I would like for him to elaborate on the basketball court, what the new party, what is in government right now, take away from the youth from Fort William. So I would like him to elaborate on that, please, because I find the youth shouldn't vote for this United Democratic Party because they are not for the youth.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you for your call.
Okay, let me address the issue quickly. Right. The
Are
young
you going to get a chance to talk? I have a call on line.
We have another caller? Okay.
Good afternoon, caller. Thanks for waiting. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. You're on.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi, Chris.
Good
How are you
afternoon.
doing? This is your Auntie Vera. Congratulations. Stay strong, my dear boy. That's life, you know? And that's the way people are. People are just, the more you do good, and even you do good, they will still say you don't do good. Anyhow.
All right.
So, we all praying for you in the name of my Lord Jesus and my Savior. We all there for you to back you for what you're doing and keep up the good work. God bless you, my boy. Good day.
All right. Thank you. The good thing about this is most of them just complimentary or making a comment. So you still have two questions to address. The basketball court.
The young people in Fort William, Wendell, have been crying out for something from government for years. Fort William is like the forgotten city in St. Martin. Nothing is being done in Fort William. Roads are not being repaired in Fort William. Light poles are not being repaired. Garbage is not being taken care of in Fort William. Since 1997, when the former commissioner at the time, William Allen, fixed that road in Fort William, nothing has been done in Fort William. The young people have been screaming for a piece of land to play basketball, volleyball in Fort William. They wanted to go up by the hill, and I told them absolutely not. Why? Boulders just fall from there every day. And I told them, no child is going to die on my watch as minister. And you know, opportunities come with disaster. Great Bay Sinester has been occupying a piece of government land for 40 years, free of charge, that doesn't belong to them. Come on, man. It don't belongs to you. It belongs to the people of St. Martin. And I told the young people, I will build an NBA-style basketball court for you in Fort William on that property. So when you look at that property where they will have the parking in Great Bay and the old tennis court, that is government property. It doesn't belong to the hotel. And the hotel has been sold to Sunwing. We paid and we already gave the contract at the tune of 49,000 guilders, 886. Paid it all to the contractor. They started to build the basketball court for the young people. And the incoming government stopped it. They stopped it. They terminated the contract because Padaro won the land. It doesn't belong to you, my friend. You have 276,532 square meters in the Maho area that you're paying government 0.1 cent a square meter, 48,000 guilders a year. For more than 250,000 square meters of land, all of it you have. And that little piece of land in Fort William, you want to take away from the young people. It doesn't belong to you. And this government should know better. It doesn't belong to you.
I have about 5 minutes left. What about the issue regarding the... Okay, you're finished with that. All right. Again, Mr. Christopher Emmanuel, very emotional, of course. Obviously, conscience is playing a lot here. What have you learned, Christopher, since you've been in office, in government? What have you learned that would make you do things differently?
Who to trust? You don't trust everyone. And everyone that says they're with you and they're for you, you take it with a grain of salt. Especially your SGs. especially the SG. I wish we can do something with the SG position in government. It should not be a permanent position.
All right, hold on. Let me take another call for you. Good afternoon, caller. You're on.
Hello, good
yes,
afternoon.
Good afternoon, you're on.
Listen, I'm listening to this discussion here with former minister and with his explanation of the plan. Randall, I decide not to vote, but with the plan that was issued and the solution for the people of St. Martin and what is done for it, Randall, I'm going to vote. And I wouldn't tell you for who.
All right. I appreciate the fact that you called and made it very clear that you were one of those who were undecided. And we do have a lot of people who are undecided. And we really need every vote to be able to assess what the decision of the people really is and abide by it, because it is based on who you vote for. All right.
Let me read something that's in the concession agreement. Listen to this. This is in the concession agreement, Annex D. As an overriding principle to govern the relationship between the parties, the concessionaire shall design, build, finance, maintain, operate, and transfer the plant in a manner that is socially and economically beneficial to St. Martin and its population, including by taking the highest environmental standards into account and giving preference to the community, local work, local contractors, and local suppliers, while affording the concessionaire a commercially reasonable return on its investment for the risk, account, and benefit of the concessionaire. I demanded that that was in. 107 jobs in 18 months. This plan can be built. 107 jobs. Local contractors, local suppliers, and local work. They're not importing that from nowhere. Those trucks and backhoes and excavators are all going to be local. And we demanded that be part of it. And then you have people for no reason. And I say this all the time. When you don't read the papers, you're uninformed. When you do read the papers, you're misinformed. And it's a terrible thing when you only have one media newspaper outlet in the country, because the most they do is feed false information to the general public. I did my research coming here. We have the World Bank in St. Martin that's associated with the IMF. This is what the IMF is saying. According to the International Monetary Fund, working papers called Caribbean Energy Micro-Related Challenges, March 2016 report, the average cost of producing electrical power in the Caribbean was at 29 cents per kilowatt at oil prices of approximately $53.59 per barrel at the time. The report was published in 2016. Now with an oil price of $65.25 per barrel, an increase from there, the cost to produce electricity will be rising further still, and the landfill issues will continue to weigh heavily on all. And I am bringing, and here's a plant that is telling you, regardless, we're at 26 cents per kilowatt, which comes down to about 46, 47 cents Dutch. GEBE is operating right now, including fuel charges, at almost 50 to 55 cents per kilowatt hour.
So you're saying they could do it a lot cheaper?
Of course.
I'm running out of time. I had a call. I wanted you to finish what you were doing, but you have 30 seconds to wrap it up now.
I'm simply saying to the people of St. Martin that I'm not here with no ill intent to attack this one and go after this one. But I'm saying to you As a member of parliament, I asked you one time to let me be your voice. And you gave me the opportunity to do that. And I told you I can fix these problems. I can solve these problems that fell under the ministry that I was responsible and represented. We did an awesome job and we worked. And I say to people of St. Martin, just imagine that day you woke up on September 7, September 6, when Hurricane Irma battered this country. Look at St. Martin today. Look at it today. And I gotta thank those workers at the Ministry of Rummy. I gotta thank Pablo Wilson. I gotta thank Irma. I gotta thank Maria. Okay? I gotta thank Olivachi.
Start calling names because you're gonna leave some people out.
Because they work 2 and 3 in the morning, Mr. Moore. We were out there cleaning this country. And look at it today. The might of America, the powerful United States, can get Puerto Rico and St. Thomas back on track. But small little St. Martin is back on track.
All right. Christopher Emmanuel, number 2 on the National Alliance slate. I thought you would have asked him to vote for you, but you didn't. So
I am asking the people of St. Martin to come out tomorrow where we'll be having our public meeting in Colby. And of course, let me be your voice. I'm your number 2 candidate on the National Alliance slate, the winning slate.
All right. Just want to give you that opportunity.
Thank you very much.
That's what we have for today. We'll be back again on Monday, God's willing, with another interesting program. Please come and join us then. From all of us, thanks for listening and for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.